Morning all. How are we all doing this morning? All good? Morning Darmond, morning John, morning Andy. Start off this morning with news. We've had CPI this morning. I've got pound CAD on at the moment. CPI was positive just about. So that's all good news for the pound. We had a little bit of a pretty big spike on the hourly on the pound, but it's just pulling back a little bit at the moment. So so to look out for today, we've got CAD this afternoon, CPI, same thing. And then we got Bailey speaking later on. Morning, Mark. And Rahat, everybody. So, bit of news this afternoon. CAD. So, big day for the pound CAD, obviously. We've had the pound news this morning and got the CAD news this afternoon. So, if you look at this on the hourly, it looked really nice. Oh, wrong one. Looked really nice on the hourly. We had this big spike up. And then it's just coming down again. So we'll see if this holds, this reversal alert here. Hopefully they're just retesting the reversal alert. But we'll see. So I've got a couple of positions on this one, TPing up there. Nicely extended on the 4 hourly yesterday, which is why I got into this one. So we are still very extended. Lovely wicks to the downside on the pound CAD. Loads of buying pressure coming in, but that news this morning hasn't really given any follow through, is it? So we'll see what happens with that one this morning. So that was news today. Obviously no real impact. We've got obviously Canadian dollar this afternoon to look out for CPI, and then Bailey speaking later. Unlikely Bailey's going to say anything, but you never know. Talking heads do come out and upset the apple cart. And tomorrow morning, we've got Aussie dollar unemployment change. So early hours of the morning, UK time, we've got that coming out, which is going to impact the Aussie dollar. And then from there on, it's all orange news. So will affect market movement, but not dramatically. There's no big ones in there. So that's pretty much it. What's this WEF annual meeting? World Economic Forum. All right, okay. Not seen that one before. A meeting held in Davos? Isn't that in Game of Thrones? Oh, no, it's a character, isn't it? Davos is a character in Game of Thrones, isn't it? Not a place. Thinking of Dawn. Anyway, carry on. All right. So, pound CAD. Obviously, have some decent movement on that. So, I've got on at the moment Aussie CAD as a long. Nicely extended. We'll look at the 4 hour RSIs in a minute, but you can see obviously very nicely extended still this Aussie CAD has been, and nicely embedded. Bit similar obviously to the pound CAD. This is obviously pushing down as well today, so I suspect this is some Canadian dollar strength we've got coming through at the moment. Let's have a look at the other CADs. Yeah, this looks like Canadian. Yeah, it's Canadian dollar strength coming through at the moment. So that pound CAD movement down is not a reaction to that pound news. It's Canadian dollar. So, I've got Aussie dollar CAD on as a long. A couple of positions on that, very similar to the pound CAD. Euro Swiss is nicely in profit at the moment. I'm holding on to it at present. We're getting to an area on this one where we might start to see some reaction. We've had a really big, strong drop and no pullback yet. No real profit-taking moves. We're getting down to this area of accumulation down here, which is an old support level. So we might find we get some kind of reaction there. But I'm still holding the positions that I've got on this one. I've got about 0.5% in profit on it. So I might bank some of it. It's difficult to know what to do with this one, really. But it's Euro, so I'm going to hold on to it for the minute. Euro Swiss. And I've got pound CAD, which you've looked at as well. Obviously, the NAS and the S&P I'm holding as well. Sir Davos, yes, that's it, from Game of Thrones. Those two have had a decent push down again. We are putting in a nice bullish, potential bullish engulfing at the moment on the 4 hour. So looking at the S&P and the NAS yesterday, we had another down day. We cracked this level. So this has gone way deeper than I was expecting it to go. Today we've got earnings on gold. Who is it? Procter & Gamble, Bank of America. Let me look it up. Hang on. So today we've got earnings on Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, and Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble is in the US 30. The others are in the S&P 500. There's no NASDAQ today. So S&P will potentially be affected by that today. Pre-market open, I'm not quite sure what time, but sometime today, this morning, those will be released. May have already been released, which is why we're seeing that little pop. Doesn't really matter when they're released. Can't do anything about it, can I? So I'm on the train, I'll ride it. NASDAQ, similar thing, bullish engulfing going in on H4. I've got into a couple of aggressive positions on this. You can see I scaled out a little bit of NAS. Just take that off. Don't need that fib on there. I scaled out of a little bit of NAS yesterday from higher positions up and took a little bit loss. Took about 180 odd loss yesterday off. Just doing some drawdown control with the profits that I've gained this month, basically, just to ease this a little bit. Because I've got into the S&P and the NAS at the same time, which is something I don't normally do. I'm double exposed, obviously, on indices direction. So I've just scaled out a little bit of this NAS. Just to take a little bit of the pressure off. Obviously, because I've now scaled out, it's going to fly, and I'm just going to regret taking that loss. But hey, what the hell? You have to do what you do. So I've put in a couple of aggressive positions down here. So I'm going to be monitoring them as hard this morning to see where we go in the London session. I'm not going to take a big loss on these. I'm not going to let them go into drawdown if we are going to have a push down. So I'll be getting out of these if we start to make new lows and take a little bit of a loss on them. But I want to put these aggressive positions on mainly because I want to get out of one of these. I don't want to be holding the NAS and the S&P long. So I'm just dragging my average down way within ADR on the NAS so that I can escape with all of these positions when we get back up there. And then I'm going to do drawdown control on all of this lot and scale it all back because I've got too much position size on basically on these. And it's going further than I was expecting. So so you can see from the NAS, we've had obviously the high, the low, we had the double bottom and a new high, which looked like we were going to start the next leg. They then pulled back and put in a new low. So the market structure is basically bearish. And we are continuing on our bearish market structure. But obviously we've just put in a new low. Today looks like potentially, I mean, this looks like yesterday, doesn't it? And look what happened yesterday. So potentially it looks like a pullback and red to green move going in. So looking for a pullback halfway up that candle today, ideally, if we're going to get a bull day. A little bit like we had here, which is, you can see where I scaled in here and got out. Looking for a similar move. We didn't quite get that half movement as well. So looking for bull day today on the NAS. Very nicely extended on the 4 hour. Don't often see the NAS getting extended on the 4 hour. It does, but not often, but obviously same as everything. When you've had that much selling, the profit take moves start. And today, potentially, it's looking like they are starting to put a profit take in. Look like this, yeah, down, bullish engulfing, and then we have that gradual grind. So looking for that today on the NAS. And the S&P, very similar. going in bullish engulfing on the S&P as well. Again, got a couple of aggressive positions on this one. Happy to hold the S&P. I'm not really getting in aggressive. It's not that aggressive actually on the S&P, that lot sizing. So I will be holding the S&P. You can see my targets all the way up to the upside there. So so that's S&P. Indices, the Dixie. So Dixie, obviously we've been stuck in this range for an absolute age. This is the main support level here. So we had really nicely well respected support area, and we cracked that support back down to this high, and we've basically broken back up inside. Okay, so this is a deep 72 moving average pullback. Yeah, that's what I think it is anyway. So what I'm expecting and hoping today is a little bit of a consolidation there and a pop. It may want to pull back a bit deeper. We'll see. But we've got this nice area of accumulation there. So I would expect to pull back into that area and move up if we don't re-find support at this level here. So this 95,500 level is where I would look for support, basically, if we get back down there. So we're pretty much, we're not far away from it at the moment, are we? But I'm looking for new highs on the US dollar over the next couple of weeks. So it's nicely on its way there. So we'll see. Chris, I made the mistake yesterday of going into US 30 and NAS at the same time. Worst mistake ever. Yeah. So yeah, basically, I don't normally, as I say, trade multiple indices. I started trading multiple indices this month because I was showing you most multiple indices and how they work together, and I just started getting in both. Normally, I don't. I only trade the S&P, but I'm potentially thinking of just trading the NAS on this account instead of the S&P, because I trade the S&P on one of my other accounts, which is my sort of longer term swing account. So I might just move over to the NAS on here, but I'll let these play out anyway to start. We'll get these positions back up into profit, and then I'll probably split this account down. Actually, what I'll probably do is just keep this one for FX, and then I'll have another account for the S&P, and I'll flip between the two and keep them separated, because they're very different. I trade them very differently. The S&P and the NAS, I'm happy to go into 25-30% drawdown, no problem. Because of the way it moves, I don't mind taking deep drawdown on it. 30-40% drawdown on it is fine, because all we're doing is we're scaling in to profit, and that's where you make all your money, when you get the decent leverage on there. So I don't mind doing that on this one, but with Forex I would never go anywhere near that. So I'll split the accounts out, so we've got two accounts to work on. It'll be a little bit easier and clearer for those obviously that were in here before Christmas. I'll be basically the same as we were then. I'm going to stick with one at a time. Yeah. So that's what I cover in the Boocamp. Exposure. Yeah, exposure is a very important thing to be aware of. Obviously, I have the 2-pair rule on Forex, where I will not trade more than 2 pairs in the same currency, and with indices, stick to 1. Don't trade 2 indices at a time. Yeah, because you're gonna if you go long like I have on the S&P and the NAS, you're basically trading the same instrument. If you do it on the US 30 on the Dow as well, it's the same thing. Yeah, you're just basically doing the same trades. If one comes down, the other 2 will come down with it. So pick one, stick to it, and pick your speed. So Dow is slow, S&P is intermediate, NAS is fast. So if you're starting out, trade the Dow. If you've been trading for a while, trade the S&P. If you're an expert, trade the NAS. But S&P is the nicest to trade, and it's the most stable out of all 3. Yeah, if you're looking for something that's going to respect moving averages, this is your baby. Stick to that one. Right, so let's have a look at where we are today. ADRs. We haven't got anything today on ADR, obviously. Early in the morning, we've had very little movement. We've had very little news. So we've had a little bit of movement across the Asian pairs. So the Aussie, the yen, we've had a little bit of range put in, but nothing dramatic. So it's just a normal Asian range, move up, move down, come back to the middle type thing. So no ADRs hit. Weekly ranges, we've got Euro Yen already. We looked at this one yesterday, Euro Yen. So we had this big drop down yesterday. Market structure is looking really nice on this on the hourly chart. Yeah, so we got nice market structure going in. So yeah, nice for shorts basically. If we get any pushes up to ADR into any of these gaps today, that would be the perfect one. 100% ADR gap, maybe up to there as well, 125. If we can get decent extension on it, that'd be a nice area for shorting out of. Not sure we're going to do that because it's the euro. We'd need a very weak yen to manage that. But that one has hit its average weekly range, but it's average weekly range to the downside. The same with all of these ADRs, and I said this in the Telegram group this morning. When we hit ADRs, I don't just take a trade because we've hit ADR. If we hit ADR, I ideally want to have confluence with that hit. So if I've got a short bias on something like the Euro Yen, I'm looking to trade ADR hits to the upside. So Euro Yen hits ADR to the upside, I'm looking for shorts. If ADR hits the lows, I'm not looking to play that reversal because I'm expecting price to go down. Or the other reason I would take an ADR is if we've got an extension on RSI. So if we are massively extended and hit ADR to the downside, then that would be a reason I would potentially get into a trade. But it's all about confluence, yeah? Or having the COT report in your favour, yeah? So on Euro Yen, if we had a negative bias short on the Euro Yen, and we hit ADR to the upside, that would be a reason for me to get in. But I don't just get into ADR because we hit ADR. When you hit ADR, all it's saying is we've done more than we normally do on a daily basis on average. Doesn't mean it's going to do that. It means we've gone more than we normally do on a daily basis. If there's a fundamental news event that takes this to 150 ADR, doesn't mean you short it. If there's a fundamental news event taking it there, it could well do that, couldn't it? So you don't just take them willy-nilly just because they hit. You have to have confluence with them as well. Monthlies as well, we've got a few monthly range hits. Aussie dollar CAD we know about, massively extension, been squeezing for a while. Euro Swiss, obviously we know about, I'm out of that one now. So that was a nice one to get into. And the US dollar yen has also hit its monthly range. We're halfway into the month. That one's bounced off beautifully. So the monthly range low has been hit and we've bounced. So yeah, so obviously you can look at all of those if you've got the ADR dashboard. So yeah, nothing to look at this morning on those. Dollar bull, I'm going to stick with one at a time. Yep. Since both are correlated, should be better to focus on the S&P only. Yeah, so yeah, pick one. As I said, pick one of those indices and concentrate on it. The S&P is the most user-friendly because you get decent volatility on it, you get decent movement, but it's more stable because you've got 500 stocks being monitored rather than 100 or 30. So the bigger the pool, the less impact each fish has on it. Yeah. So think of it like a fish pond. Yeah. If you've got 100 fish in there and one of those fish is a piranha and goes mad and starts eating the other fish, it's going to have a big impact. If you could stick a piranha in a pool of 500 fish, it's not going to be as much of an impact, is it? So the bigger the indice measurement, the more stable it will tend to be and the less impact one individual stock will have on that movement. Therefore, it's a nicer, easier thing to trade. And the NAS moves an awful lot faster. So it's much more of a volatile beast. Do I ever trade the DAX or FTSE in your time zone? Yep. I'll get in when I need to get in. So if I see a decent level that is hit during the London session, I'll get in. But the vast majority of movement moves on... oh, sorry, you're talking about the DAX and the FTSE. No, I don't trade those. No. The FTSE... I thought I had the FTSE up here. No. I don't trade it. because these are much better. If you look at the FTSE, it's a lot more volatile up and down than the S&P. You get periods of this, yeah. Because the UK companies, a lot of our FTSE is made up of financial services. Whereas with the S&P 500, again, you've got that bigger pool of different indices within it. So you've got the tech industry in there, you've got the aerospace industry in there, you've got retail in there. With ours, because we are much less manufacturing oriented and we're more financial service oriented, you get a lot more volatility on this. It's a lot more difficult to trend trade. Yeah, so you get massive periods where we're not trending, which you don't get on the US indices. So it's just a nicer thing to trade, which is why I don't bother trading the FTSE. You could trade the FTSE if you want to, though. Same with the DAX, but just I don't do it. Am I in US 100? Yep. You've probably seen that. If your average weekly range and average monthly range hit, how to use it since the chart is showing daily? So with the monthly and the weekly ranges, it's just showing you what the ranges are. Yeah, what the average weekly range over the last 12 days, I've got mine set up to 12 days. 12 weeks is. So it's not rocket science to tell what you do with it. Yeah. So euro yen, you look at the movement in the last week. So let's go zoom in a little bit. Week started on, where are we? Where did the week start? What's the date today? 3 days ago, isn't it? Let's look at the daily chart. That's easier. Look at the daily chart. Tell what we're doing then. So if we've hit 178, 174 pips, yeah, you just measure. So you can see, obviously, this week it's gone down. So it's hit its average weekly range, moving down. So therefore, we would play a long. Yeah. Same with the monthlies. Yeah. Aussie dollar CAD, 252 is the average monthly range. What do you want to do with that? Short it or long it? Yeah. It's shot down since the beginning of this month. Here. We started here. And it's gone down. So from that high to wherever that triggered the monthly low, it's moved down. Yeah. So that is what it normally does in an entire month. We're only on the 17th of the month. So if it pushes further than that, we're well beyond where the normal monthly range for the Aussie CAD. If it's done all of that already, chances are it's going to do one or two things: consolidate or pull back. Yeah. So the reason you don't need to know, you don't need to see on here a direction or have it plotted on your chart. If in the month it's triggered the alert and it's been coming down in the month, you want to long it. If it's gone up in the month, you want to short it. If you mean reversion trading. Yeah. Does that make sense? John, I've heard the DAX is smoother. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never really traded it. I mean, if you want to trade the DAX, it's 40. Don't forget now, it's also changed. It was 30, Germany 30. It's now 40. So they've increased the indice, which is another thing to bear in mind. Yeah. So where we've had the movement on the DAX in the past, historically, you can't take that movement as what might move forward now because it's changed. There's now 40 stocks. They've increased it by 33%. So the indice is now going to be 33% more volatile, in theory. So, yeah, I mean, this is smoother than the FTSE. More akin. So look at that DAX. Look at the FTSE. Yeah, look at the COVID. COVID, this is a great barometer for anything, yeah. You can see COVID. Everything collapsed in COVID, right? So if you want to back test and see what difference in volatility you have on things, look at the difference of COVID, right? How quickly did the DAX recover from COVID? Way quicker than the FTSE. How quickly did the S&P recover? Virtually instantly. It went, oh, no, I'll carry on. Yeah, this is why this is such a beautiful thing to trade. You get a massive problem. At some point when that problem is solved, it just goes back to business as usual. Same with the NAS. Whoops, no, carry on, business as usual. Yeah, these are just so much smoother. If you want to trade indices, focus on the NAS and the S&P because you've got a directional bias which you know 90% of the time is going to play out. Unless we're having some kind of financial crisis, which happens. Yeah, and in that case, there's not a lot you can do. So, not for me. It's what Trader Tom trades. That's all. Yeah, everyone trades different things. I don't know who Trader Tom is, but I mean, pick your indices. A load of people trade crypto. A load of people trade that horrible, stupid VIX thing. You know, I say horrible, stupid VIX. A lot of people swear by it. But I don't trade synthetic indices because they're manufactured usually by brokers to take your money. So I stick with the stuff that I know and I can understand. Yeah, this thing is driven by this. Yeah. What goes on with these? 500 companies makes this. Not this one, this is the NAS. Makes this move. I understand it. It's logical. It's all manufactured to do a thing. So, you know, this is why people like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, his benchmark, and a lot of hedge funds benchmark is the S&P 500. Their job is to try and outperform the S&P 500 because the S&P 500 is manufactured on average to make 8% a year. Yeah. So if you can outperform the S&P, you're a good trader. You're a good fund. And the reason a lot of pension funds are stuffed into the S&P and index linked, you've probably heard that before, index linked. That's what an index linked pension is. This is an index. It's linked to the index. That's why everybody trades them because you know they're designed to go up. Anyway, going off on a bit of a tangent, aren't we, this morning about indices, but they're great. Good way to make money. Right, so let's crack on with analysis this morning. So yeah, ADRs not a lot. 4 hours. Usual suspects. Aussie dollar CAD. So Aussie dollar CAD, again, we had another big daily movement down. 4 hour. Yesterday, we had a little bit more of a push down. We are still stuck down here, still embedded down here. We're looking for that profit take move. So this is the last one we had. There's our profit take. There we go. There's our profit take. Looking for a move back up into support resistance. One of those levels there. At some point soon. At the moment, though, it's still looking very heavy. So very nice extension down to the 20 level. Canadian dollar news this afternoon hopefully will be negative for the CAD and we'll get some good strength of buying coming through. So we'll see what happens with that one, but looking for longs on that. Already in long, obviously, as you can see. CAD Swiss. That one is extended just to the upside. It's just come out of extension now. So you've had the 15-minute reversal on that one. The trade was this morning in Asia. So if you were up in Asia, you could have got that nice reversal. Straight back down into that buy, rejected. Coming back up into that sell zone now to reject back down again. So this is coming up into a good sell area here. But yeah, not very extended. Just about. I don't like it when we're just about extended. I like to be really nicely extended because you obviously get into positions when they've moved much further. Therefore, the spring back tends to be a lot quicker. EuroCAD. This is euro. I don't long the euro. This has struggled. You can see this has done the same as the pound CAD this morning. We've had a little bit of a movement and then the CAD's stepped on it. We are very, very extended down here as well. So it is due a pullback. Look for that level there as potentially resistance. So if we are going to get the pullback, this is where I would be looking to come up to the 142,300 level roughly. We're well extended away from the 24. When we get this far away from the 24, we tend to want to pull back. The 24 and the 72 act as magnets for price. So if you want to get long on the euro, personally I'm not at the moment, but you had the reversal alert and the retest, but you can see how heavy this is still. But yeah, very, very nicely extended. If I was going to take a euro trade long, that would be it because of the extension. It's very, very, very tired. I look at it on the hourly as well. It's not extended now. It was extended down here. So you've had the reverse alert on the hourly as well. I'm just retesting at the moment. But look what it's stepped into. This big sell-off. And the sellers have stepped in and trodden on it. So it's whether or not the buyers that pushed this move up can hold and crack it, or whether the selling pressure is just going to be too much and we're going to get another leg down. Being the euro, it's going to be reliant on the CAD. If we get CAD strength this afternoon, it's coming back down again. So difficult one to trade, that one, but very, very nicely extended on the 4 hour. Euro Swiss, same thing. I'm obviously short on the Euro Swiss at the moment. We've had the reversal alert this morning. We are coming down into this area. You see I've been shorting this since we got up there. Took nice profit there, another short there. I've got 3 positions on this at the moment. It's looking like the buyers are starting to step in. This is a potential support area here. We've got this accumulation, double accumulation there. So this is an area of interest. It's difficult to tell what we're going to get here. We may well get a pullback on this here, but I don't like this movement from the euro. But this was mainly that Swiss franc weakness that we had. It was nothing really to do with the euro. But I don't like the fact that the Swissy got so weak. So potentially we could be looking to pull back on this one. So I'm keeping a close eye on this Euro Swiss at the moment, but this morning we are pushing back down. So London has opened up weak on the Euro Swiss, but we haven't really gone anywhere as yet. So we'll see where we go with this one today, but it is very exhausted. So it is due definitely some kind of pullback, but I'm going to hold on to it because it's the euro and let this one go short. I've only got sort of 0.3% profit on it on the positions I've got open. Obviously I've banked loads on it already, but I'm going to hold on to it. So it's not one I want to take long. Euro Swiss, Euro Yen, same thing. That's coming off very nicely off of this extension, but obviously the yen is got a mind of its own at the moment. I've not really got any directional bias on the yen, which is why I'm not trading it at the moment. So you can see how beautiful market structure and movement is on this. It doesn't really matter where you get in, what type of extension you get into. You're getting that nice zigzag movement, and that's all we need. As long as it's doing that, you can get in and out constantly on this and make money. It's when it goes into a squeeze is when you're going to get stuck. So with the euro with the euro yen, here you go. So like that, yeah. If we have a squeeze where we get an incredibly weak yen or an incredibly strong yen, that's when you're going to get into trouble. So I would much rather be shorting it than longing it, purely because my bias on the euro is very, very short and I haven't got a bias on the yen. So any pops I'd be interested in shorting rather than taking longs on it. So where it is at the moment on the 4 hourly, I'm not really interested in longing it. But if we got an hourly extension, for example, to the upside, like here, then I'd be interested in taking shorts on it, because the drops are going to be much harder when we get euro strength, because there's yen strength, because there's nothing for the euro to push back with. The euro's got no strength. It's getting pushed around by the yen. So yeah, shorts on that one. So obviously loads of areas up here potentially for us to come back to. You can obviously retest of the reversal alert as well. But loads of selling areas there if we can push back up into those for a drop. This area of consolidation and this area of resistance have been broken, so they're invalid. Next stop, who knows? Could be anywhere, couldn't it? But shorts. So I'm not looking to long that one. Euro US dollar, same story. Looking for strength on the US dollar, therefore weakness on the euro. You can see what you need to do with this one. It's massively, massively weak. This is the inverse of the Dixie. So that move that I pointed out today on the Dixie, where we've had this range broken out and pulled back up into it, potentially for a pop. You just reverse that. I've had this range, pulled up, pulled back into it, pop. Yeah, so same thing, looking for shorts. This was your short, which has played out very nicely. Got the reversal alert, didn't even get a retest on it, just collapsed straight back into there. So looking for shorts on this one. So it is probably going to pull back. Where it's going to pull back to, though, is a little bit difficult to tell. With this one, obviously this is the accumulation before the drop. So anywhere around this area here, potentially, for continuation to the downside. Euro US dollar, pound CAD. Obviously I'm in this one already. Coming down again, look. Strong Canadian dollar. We haven't managed to break these lows though, so let's see if we can stick within the Asian lows. This is just a deep retest, potentially. So we'll see how we get on with that one. If this breaks, this is the one that's really difficult to pick a spot on. Here we had a decent resistance turn support, so that area there is potentially a bounce point, which is the previous accumulation here. Other than that, you're looking at that and then coming all the way back down to this buy zone. So it's very difficult to pick a level on this, which is why I said I'm not... When I got into this one, I said, didn't I? I don't really like it, but I'm going to take it. I should have listened to myself. But we've got a few levels which are fairly close. So we've got this level here. We could just tap down into that, which will be a nice liquidity run of all these lows, and then pop back up. Failing that, looking for other levels really. So just really waiting for it to get down to find support if it's going to break. If not, we're just going to do a profit take on this. And you can see I'm not looking for a lot. I'm looking to come back up into this accumulation here. I'm not looking for a lot of profit on it. But yeah, nicely extended still. If we get embedded down here and push down further, that's fine. The more embedded we get, the bigger that spring's going to be when it goes. New Zealand dollar CAD. Again, lovely bullish engulfing. 3-bar reversal. Big down move. Doji. Big up move. So 3-bar reversal going in on New Zealand dollar CAD. Again, Canadian dollar stomping on it this morning in London. So far, obviously London's only just opened, so we need to give it a bit of time to play out. But at the moment, it's just pulling back. Again, very nicely extended. This is what I mean by getting embedded on the 4-hour down here. This is a good example of what I potentially expect to get on the pound CAD. Get embedded and grind, and then you get that big pop. Couple of days or a day where you just basically get out the lot. So we'll see how we get on with that one, but that one's nicely extended as well. So lots of opportunities there for trades. The euros are my least favourite because I'm short on the euro. But pound CAD and Aussie CAD I am obviously in already. Hourlies, morning Bozo. I'm really into the trend continuation strategy. Could you also use that for your analysis from time to time, like the Aussie CAD and New Zealand CAD? Yeah, well, I mean, trend continuation is very simple. If you're going to play the daily trend, 72 and the 24 pullbacks are where you get in. Like that. Reversal alert. Drop. Really simple. So if you want to play trend continuation, you can wait for RSI extension. That's where you would have got RSI extensions there. So you'd have taken a short there. You'd have taken a short up here. If we pull back now up to the 24 and get extended on RSI, there's your entry short. Yeah, very simple trend continuation pullbacks. So wait for 4 hour to get to one of those, and then drop down lower time frame and wait for your reversal alerts. Obviously this is not extended, so you wouldn't get in this one. And obviously you can also, if you're going to get a strong trend, you will find a lot of the time in strong trends, you don't get a pullback to the 24. We don't even get there. We have on this one in this example, but again here we started trending. We didn't get back to the 24. We didn't get back to the 24. So this is a strong trend. But what you can do with those is that one started 30th of December, so end of December. Drop down to the hourly from the 30th of December from here, and look for RSI extensions on the hourly. Actually, you didn't even get any on the hourly, did you? No. But a lot of the time in a strong trend, you will find the hourly time frame will get you back up there for shorts. So, but that's how you would play a trend of continuation. So just wait for reversal alerts on lower time frames, and you mean you can take them all if you wanted to. Yeah, they're all gonna. Some of them are gonna fail. Some of them are gonna stick. But very simple. If you want to trade, play that way. There's a million ways to trade with the indicator, and a million ways to trade full stop. If something makes more sense to you and it works, do it. Pick the bits that look good to you. Euro US dollar 3-bar reversal on Friday. On the daily. So yeah, sort of that. It's close. You know, a 3-bar reversal. There's two different types of 3-bar reversals that I look out for. The ideal 3-bar reversal is a push up, followed by a doji or a shooting star. Obviously, do this in reverse if it's a long. And then a bearish candle. And the bearish candle, I like to see make 50% of the bullish candle. So in this case, didn't quite engulf 50%. And that's not quite, I mean, it is. It's a big bodied shooting star, isn't it? So yeah, it's close. And again, it's discretionary. This is a really nice sort of 3-bar reversal. That is a perfect 3-bar reversal. And in this case, this one didn't hold it. Yeah. They don't always work, obviously. The same as any candlestick pattern. Bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, shooting star, hammer. They don't always work. But that is a perfect textbook 3-bar reversal. Push down, shooting star, 100% bullish engulfing of the previous candle. Yeah. Boom. Obviously, in this case, it failed. But yeah, that's very, very close. And the other type to look out for is a push down, a push up, and then another push up. So this is what we call sort of dark cloud cover. Let's find an example. There you go. So push down, push up, but this one here needs to be an inside bar of that. Yeah, so it can't break the highs of that, but the next bar does. Yeah, so this is like a dark cloud cover, and then off from there. There's a double 3-bar reversal. Push up, shooting star, wide body doji, drop back down, drop. Yes, you can have it. That's a 4-bar reversal. But it's the same thing, isn't it? All these candlestick patterns are showing you is buyers coming in, buyers coming in, buyers coming in, buyers coming in. Pause candle. We're not sure whether we're buying or selling. Sellers stepping in. That's a top. That's all it's showing you. Whether it takes 3 bars, 4 bars, 5 bars to play out, it's showing you market structure reversals. And when they happen at things like the 72 moving average, even better. Yeah, this is a similar sort of thing, candlestick pattern. Inside bar, big wicks, look for big wicks. Broken low, drop. But the 3-bar reversal is it's kind of like, think of it like a handbrake turn. Shooting up like that and doing a handbrake turn. That's what a 3-bar reversal is. We go at the top and then we shoot the other way. Candlestick 101. Where was I? There's another nice... Oh, that's one we're just looking at, I think, isn't it there? Right, so where were we? Hourlies. So we've done all the 4 hourlies. Hourlies, Euro Swiss. All we've got is Euro Swiss on the hourlies. And obviously, I'm short on this. We're embedded. I'm going to get out of one of these. I'm going to take that one off. And that one. And I'm going to drop that down to 2. So I'm still in profit on that Euro Swiss. I don't like that price action. It's bullish on the hourly. We're very extended. I'm going to keep these 2 on and look at an area to drop in for an additional position on that one. It might come back up to here. So I'm going to look for another entry on that because I still think it's coming down the Euro Swiss long term. It's just we're hitting this area of chop, so I might as well stick it in the bank. Couldn't agree more. Where are we? 1 ADR TP starts from the break-even line of multi-portion basket. Not sure what you mean by that. 1 ADR TP starts from the break-even line of multi-portion basket. When you're getting into a position, I think what you mean is when you get into a position with multiple positions, you want to try and keep your break-even line, your average line, within ADR, ideally. Yeah. So when you get into a position, look at the NAS I've got on at the minute. There's 1 ADR there. Okay. So I want this to be within an ADR. Reason being is because when we get a pullback on a trend, yeah, the pullback will quite often be around about an ADR. If we're going to get a reversal, obviously it's going to go way beyond an ADR, and that might not necessarily be done in a day. So if this now pushes up today to there, tomorrow it will do potentially that. So what I'm looking for is on the daily, look at the daily charts. When you get a multi-day drop on anything, this doesn't apply just to indices, this applies to Forex, to crypto, to everything. When you get a multiple day drop, what you tend to do is you get a big strong push and an ADR move in one direction. Yeah. Big strong drop, consolidation. Big strong drop, big strong drop. Chances are we're going to get an ADR push. It's going to go at least 1 ADR in the opposite direction. So as long as you're keeping your average within an ADR, you're literally playing waiting game, waiting for the pullback. The pullback is where you get out of your positions and profit. So as long as you're scaling in, and don't get in too heavy, but scale in so that you're keeping this around about an ADR away. Now, if you get into a squeeze where you get a massive strong movement and a currency squeezes really hard, you will find it very difficult to keep your average within an ADR. So that's where you start to struggle. But when you do get these small pullbacks on a squeeze, they give you an opportunity to get out of your position and then do some drawdown control using the profit that you use to get out to bring this average down further. Yeah, so it's all about maintaining your average position. When you're in a position trading scenario, that is your position. Yeah, my position on this is 15346.93. I've got lots of trades on, but my position on the NAS is there. That's what position trading is. So I need to keep my position within reach of price. Yeah, look at what price does. And this works on, as I say, on anything. Yeah, what does price do when it has multiple down days? Has up days, big down day, up day, two big down days, up day, big down day, two big up days, down day, up day, down day, down day, big up day, down day, down day, down day, big up day, big up day. These are ADR pushes. Yeah, next ADR push, I'm out, done, flat, profit, bank, 500 quid. I don't know, whatever I'm going to get. But this is going to happen, this ADR push, because everybody that's hit the sell button to drive price down since we started has got to hit the buy button to get out. So sellers enter, sellers enter, sellers and buyers battle, sellers enter. What happened? Sellers entered, buyers went, no, it's strong. So the sellers went, all right, I'll take my profit here. When the sellers take profit, they become buyers. And what does it do? Push price up, at least in ADR. We're just waiting for these people that have sold here, here, and here to exit their positions. When they exit their positions, they become buyers. When they become buyers, they push price up. When price pushes up, people start to buy because they think it's a good place to buy. Therefore, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and it moves fast. That's how trading works. Buying, selling, buying, selling. I'm just buying on the way down, waiting for the sellers to start buying as well. When they start buying, this thing's going to pop. And because it's an indice, where do we expect it to pop to? There. Because what does the indice do constantly? Make new highs. It does this. Yeah. So where do you think we're going to go from here? At some point in the next week, month? I don't know. Don't know how long it's going to take, but I know it's going to happen. Because there's 100 companies in technology stocks here which are releasing their figures in the next week. They're not all going to be bad, are they? So what's going to happen to stock prices? Because look at the stock prices. They're so cheap. Yeah, this is an indice of stock prices. What happens when stocks come down? People think, wow, that's cheap, I'm going to buy it. What happens after they buy it? It goes up. It's logic. It's just simple. Obviously, there's things like crashes. But that's how the market works. That's how the stock market works. And they reach for levels. So when we get to a level like there, which is also the 200 moving average, we tend to get a reaction because this is where everybody wanted to buy. Yeah, the sellers tried to crack this level and they went, nope. They tried again, went, nope. They tried really hard and they went, no. This level is very, 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 very strong support. What do you think is going to happen when we get down to here? Everybody that bought here and pushed it back up there is going to want to buy it again. It's just how it works. As soon as you understand that and you realize that there isn't somebody the other side every time you hit the buy button going the other way and taking your money, it all suddenly clicks into place. So that's it for our RSIs on the hourly. So I'm going off into waffles this morning, aren't I? Hopefully they're useful. Pound US dollar also. Yeah, pound US dollar 3-bar reversal. Yep, on the daily. Push. Shooting star. Bearish. Again, not quite where I would want that to close. I would want it to close there. But, again, discretionary. Yes, it is. Here is a 4-bar dark cloud cover. Push down, bullish engulfing, break that high. Yeah, 3-bar reversal, push, doji, drop. Wide body doji is just as good as a dragonfly doji or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's the same thing. This reversals of 3-bar, it cannot be confirmed using fractals. Probably. I don't know. Don't use fractals. But yeah, I mean, that's what fractals do, isn't it? When you get a new low formed within a certain number of candles, you get the fractal appear above it. So yeah, you can, but I mean, by the time the fractal's painted above it, I've already seen it happen. So it's again, all indicators lag. All indicators lag. Whatever you use. So when the fractal appears above it saying, hey, look what's just happened. So I know it's just happened. I can see it in the candlesticks. Why would I need an indicator to tell me that there's been a reversal when I can see the reversal has happened? But I obviously, when you're starting out, it's really handy to have these things, and they confirm your understanding, which is what a lot of indicators do. They confirm your understanding. So fractals is good. But stick it on the chart and have a look at where they appear. You can fine-tune fractals as well. I'm working my way through the bootcamp. I have so far bought the reversal, Indy and the dash. What other indicators do I need if I want to start using the EA to trade the same way as I do? You don't need any other indicators to trade with the EA. The EA does everything. The EA has all the filters in basically for the way that I trade. So it's got RSI filters, moving average filters, reversal filters, everything in there. So the EA basically I built because it is me. It does everything I do. But obviously I am me, so it can replicate me to a certain extent, but it can't understand what's happening with news and things like that. So it's just a way of automating entries. You see me, this is how I use it, isn't it? I stick it on the chart. So it's sitting on the Euro Swiss basically, but all the EA is doing for me on the Euro Swiss, I've told it to get in short for me and space out the trades for me half an ADR apart. So all that's going to happen is when this pushes up half an ADR, which is 51. So when this is pushed 25 pips up, got up to somewhere around here, and gives me a reversal alert, it's going to get me into a trade because I want to scale in to Euro Swiss short. But if you want to set the EA up to automatic, and this is what some of the set files do for you, you can set the EA up to obviously get in. So on the 4 hour, so I want to use the 4 hour RSI extension. When you get above the 4 hour RSI on the 14, above 75, trigger a short. When you get a reversal alert on the M5 time frame, bear in mind we're trading on the M5 time frame here, so it will only take reversal alerts short if the 4 hour RSI is extended above the 75 and for example, the daily 72 exponential is above price. Yeah. So what I've set up there basically is on here, only take short positions when we are below the 72 and 4 hour is extended. That's what I just set. I would have set that up to do then. Yeah. So you can set it up to do whatever you like. So it will automatically get you into positions. So where I'm doing this analysis every day and saying, right, 4 hour extensions, what have we got? The EA is doing all this for you. So on the Aussie CAD, it will have seen that the 4 hour RSI is extended. It would have started scaling into positions here for you. Funnily enough, that's exactly where I started scaling into positions. So it just does what I do, basically. But obviously, I will get into aggressive positions. I will do drawdown control based on my portfolio and how it's going. So that's the bit it can't do. It can't look at the total picture of my portfolio and use my brain. So it's as close as you can get to what I do. John, Jeremy, the indicator I have uses close price. So you're talking to someone else. That's fine. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Dappy. Good name. I'm a smart guy. Thank you, Beast. I like to think so. All programmers are smart. Go the geeks. Chris, I think I missed the US dollar Hong Kong dollar explanation. I don't trade US dollar Hong Kong dollar. Could you check it? I've no idea. I don't trade Hong Kong dollar. I don't trade exotics at all. A Hong Kong dollar, is that not pegged? I think the Hong Kong dollar is pegged, so you don't want to trade a pegged currency because it's not got any control. For any currency to move, it needs, like the Aussie dollar and the CAD, yeah? The Aussie dollar is an independent currency. The CAD is an independent currency. So when you get strength in one and weakness in the other, you get a strong move. When you get strength in both, you get an accumulation. Yeah. If you've got a currency that is pegged, I'm pretty sure the Hong Kong dollar is pegged. That Hong Kong dollar cannot move on its own. It is pegged to another currency. I don't know what it is, but I'd check. I don't know. Look them up. We can look them up. Let's have a look while we're here. Hong Kong dollar peg. Yeah. So Hong Kong dollar is pegged to the US dollar. So when the US dollar moves, the Hong Kong dollar will move. So don't trade pegged currencies. You can trade the Hong Kong dollar against another currency, like the Aussie Hong Kong dollar. But think about what you're doing. You're really just trading Aussie US, aren't you? So why bother? Exotic, forget the exotics. Anything that appears in your symbols list in exotics, I haven't even got them. Look, my broker doesn't even give me the exotics because it knows I'd be really stupid to trade them. I can't even trade them. Look, oh, yes, I can. Yeah, there they are. They're in minus. So the NOK, the Singapore dollar, all this lot, Czech, is that Hungarian? Yeah, Hungarian forint, Swedish krona, ruble. A lot of these are pegged to something else. Does anyone know what time exactly this YouTube session starts daily? Yeah, 8:30 a.m. UK time and 2 p.m. UK time every day. Talk about pound yen. So yeah, pound yen's pulling back quite nicely on the 4 hour. We looked at this one. The yen, I looked at this one on Monday, I think. We're in a big range and we're up at the top. We put in a double top. We've got a reversal, retest and drop. So this is going to be driven by the yen more than anything at the moment. So it all depends what happens with the yen. As I said, haven't got a real bias yet on the yen this year and where it's going to go, but I am expecting it to power up because the yen tends to power up alongside the US dollar a lot of the time, and we're seeing the US dollar start to get some strength, and we have a forecast from the futures open interest that the dollar is going to go long. So I would be long yen, which means I'm shorting everything against the yen. But it hasn't had a setup for me yet this year. Hourly. Yeah, you did have one there on the hourly. But as I said, I didn't know what was going on. This was like first day back, so I had no idea what was going on with it. But I'm looking more short than long on it. So we've just broken out of this range on the hourly. Look. Yeah, and we've broken out again. So market structure has shifted. All the way down to, who knows, somewhere down on that one. But I don't know where. All programmers are smart. Yes. That's why they're programmers. I have a question. If my PC needs to restart, will the EA pick up the trades I have and carry on? In theory, yes. In practice, difficult. Basically, the EA uses global variables. So if you go to Tools and Global Variables, let's do it on something we've got some global variables on, like the EA. You'll see that there's global variables stored. The EA stores these variables in your MT4. If you restart, these should all stay there. But MT4 sometimes doesn't. So if you're going to run the EA, I would recommend getting a VPS. So just go and get a VPS. It's $20, $30 a month. If you're just running one MT4 on a VPS, you can get a VPS for about $15 a month. Stick the EA on there and it will just sit there forever running. Do it that way. The company I use is, I'm not affiliated with them or anything. This is the company I use. I can't find them. Hang on. Where are they? There's loads of companies that do. Just type Forex VPS into Google. But the one that I use is that one. VPS Forex, VPSForexTrader.com. There you go, from $18 a month. And they've got loads of VPSs. And the reason I like these guys is they tell you what you're going to get. So, their entry-level plan, $18 a month, you can run 4 MT4s on it. And it only needs 1 CPU core and 4 gig of RAM to run 4 MT4s. Yeah, you can pick your location. I mean, I wouldn't worry about that too much. But the one that I've got is bigger. It's not even on here. So I pay £300 a quarter, $300 a quarter. Mine runs 25 MT4s. I like to overkill, but I do a lot of testing on mine. Of EAs and other stuff, so I've got loads of stuff, loads of different MT4s running. So, but that'll do you. Stick the EA on that, and then you're safe. You haven't got to worry about it. Regarding Saudi Riyal also pegged with the US dollar because of oil. Yeah. So basically. You can see in the left-hand column here, everything green is a Forex major or a Forex minor. These are all independent currencies. You can trade all of these totally unpegged. They're absolutely fine, and they're all going to run up and down and do their own thing. Yeah, trade those. You've got 28 pairs. Just don't need any more. You really don't need any more. The exotics, like the ZAR, that is an independent. But look at the ADR on it. It's 2,230. And people go, oh, I'm going to trade the ZAR because I can make 2,000 pips a day. You can, but what's 2,000 pips a day? It's irrelevant, isn't it? It's all dependent on your lot size. The fact that this thing moves 2,000 pips a day means absolutely nothing. The NAS moves 3,600 a day. The S&P moves about 500 a day. 700 a day at the moment. The movement... The ADR on it is irrelevant. You need to be aware of it because you need to know roughly what its range is. But you don't need to trade things like this that have usually got whacking great spreads on them. It's not too bad on the ZAR, actually. I say it's not too bad. It's 30. You just don't need to trade it. You just don't need it. There's more than enough to pick from there. Use those. Check with your broker. Some have a deal. Some brokers do have deals with VPSs. IC Markets, I know. IC Markets, if you sign up with IC Markets and you've got a live account with IC Markets, you can get a VPS with, I think it is, can't remember which one it is. I think it's forexvps.net, these guys. There you go, free Forex VPS. choose a broker, deposit. Yeah, so they basically have an affiliation with brokers. There you go, IC Markets. There you go. God, I'm knowledgeable. IC Markets, FX Primus, or Insta Forex. If you've got a broker, if you're with any of these guys, you will get a free basic VPS. If you trade 10 lots. So it's not free. It's you've got to do a little bit of trading, which is what you're buying the VPS for. So not really a problem, is it? Okay. What does the EA and the VPS do? Explanation for beginners, please. VPS is a virtual personal server. It's just a computer, just Windows. So this is a VPS. Yeah. So on this VPS, I've got multiple EAs running, doing lots of different things. These are just testing strategies out for me. I've got like about 100 strategies running on these. It's just doing lots of tests for me. That's my account. This is the EA for the H1M15 strategy with the market reversal alerts EA. So all it is a computer, and you stick your MT4 on that computer, and it runs 24/7 on a server bank. That's what it is. That's what a VPS is. The EA does loads of stuff. So the EA basically, you have to go and watch. Here's a link to the EA. Go and have a watch of what it does. Basically, it just automates market reversal alerts for you. Can we get some more EA set files for the trend continuation strategy? They're all up on the blog. So go to that link I've just posted. And on there is a link to the indicator page on MQL5, and there's a link to the blog post there, which has got the trend strategy on it. But you can set that up yourself, Bozo, the trend continuation strategy. It's really easy. If you want to set that up, just stick the EA on, yeah? What's that gone all the way over there for? And you want to basically take trades in the direction of moving average. So the higher time frame moving average, if you want to use my moving averages, you can pick the daily 72. That's the top moving average, and the 24 obviously is the bottom one. And say take trades in those directions. And you probably want an RSI filter, so I would probably use the hourly RSI extensions above 70 and below 30. There you go. That's a trend continuation. So all that will do now is basically, as long as price is below the 72 moving average and pushes up on the hourly chart to get above the 70 level, put the EA on M5 or M15, and it will take every reversal alert short for you based on those conditions. There you go, it's done. But that set file's up there already. But tweak it, play with it. You know, this EA was built to help you automate whatever you want to automate. It wasn't designed to set up, stick on 28 pairs and walk off and make money. That's not what it does. I use it to put onto charts when I want to get into positions, and I want this to get me into the position so I don't have to sit here tied to my PC monitoring alerts and doing everything. Yeah, so when I get into a position, I stick the EA on and say trade for me, because this is what I think is going to happen. I think pound CAD, for example, is going to go up, so I stick the EA on it and say take longs for me, and it will take longs for me, and it will get me out when it gets to the target I set it, which is usually around about an ADR. That's what it's designed for. But there's a lot of other things like Euro Yen where it would have taken a trade there potentially, and I don't want to trade Euro Yen long, so I don't stick it on every single chart. You can do, you know, and I've done that. So this is running H4M15 at the moment. Yeah, so this is H4M15 mean reversion. So this is the EA. I stuck it on all the pairs in line with cot bias and said take every M15 reversal you get. Yeah, and it's just sitting there banking money. I'm doing this as an experiment and partly to do a video at some point to demonstrate why I don't do this. Yeah, because look at your exposure on the Canadian dollar right now. If you stick the EA on every single pair and tell it to trade a strategy, it's going to do exactly that. I've got now 5 trade exposures on the CAD short. If that CAD this afternoon gets massive news and goes crazy, what's going to happen to my drawdown? It's going to go through the roof. And that's why I don't do this and why everybody keeps saying, how many pairs should I put it on? Watch the Boocamp. There's a reason you don't expose yourself to that much on one individual currency. That's fine. That's fine. That's hedged. That's hedged. Yeah. But if you do that, you can get into big problems when you get a squeeze. Let's say the CAD squeezes now for the next week. That's going to go through the roof. So, but yeah, me sitting there banking nicely. It's not got much DD. You know, anything under 15% drawdown, I'm more than comfortable with. It's banked 4% for me since I started trading it, which is, when did I start this running? 28th of December. So yes, this started just before Christmas. Running on a 10k account. But yeah, I mean, that's what the EA is for. The EA is for you to use. How you use it is up to you, and how you trade with it is entirely up to you. There are set files I've put out there which are profitable strategies. H4 M15 mean reversion, H1 M5 mean reversion, ADR reversals. There's a hedging set file, and there is another one. Can't remember what the other one is. My brain isn't working. Let me find 1 sec. That's the manual. Don't want that. There you go. So this is the market reversal alerts strategy set files, basically. And here's my testing criteria. These are only tested on one currency as well. So, you know, this is what's tested on there. Go and test them on other currencies. They will work on other currencies, but to varying results. So you need to check. That's a set file name. This is an explanation of what the strategy is, how it's working. Yeah, exactly what the strategy does. And this is the results. And this is the backtest results. Yeah. So all the information you need is there. But you can do as many variations of this as you like. This is not using drawdown control, for example. It's not using trailing stops. It's not using break-even stops. You know, the EA is highly, highly configurable. But these are the strategies I've been trading for years and I know work very well. Here's the trend pullback strategy we were talking about, yeah? So RSI extension with the moving average. Yeah. So it shows you where you would get into these trades and how they work. So it's all there. It's all on the blog post. Read it. And then just download it. They're all in there. There's also some files for S&P 500 as well. So S&P strategy, the daily trend strategy. There's results on that one as well. And how it works, basically. So again, all using RSI, showing strength of movement, waiting for pullbacks, but only longs. We only long. And how it scales in and gets out on those ADR pushes. Yeah, exactly what I was talking about earlier. ADR push, out. And that's also got DD control built in. And again, that's why I took some drawdown on NAS today. The EA did that drawdown control for me. Yeah, so the EA is set up to scale out a third of my position when I get 2 ADR against. And NAS today yesterday pushed 2 ADR against. So I've started to scale out of some of those older NAS positions. So again, have a look. It's all on the blog post. It's all linked from the indicator page, from the EA page rather, on MQL5. It's one of the best documented EAs out there, and you still get all the questions. Yeah. So documentation-wise, this is the blog post for the docs. If you haven't seen it, Market Reversal Alerts EA Manual. There's a video here which is 2.5 hours long, where I go through absolutely everything to do with the EA. There's another one on strategies, which is basically mostly the set files that are given. And this is the documentation. Yeah, this is not a simple EA. This is a complex EA, but it's a massively, massively powerful EA. But I know why people ask questions, obviously, because there's a lot of reading to be done. Yes. But everything you need answered is in there. And if you've read this and then you ask me a question, I don't mind. It's not a problem. Yeah, come into the Telegram group, ask questions. That's what the Telegram group is there for. But if you haven't read this and you come and ask questions, I'm going to send you to go and read this. Yeah, you've got to invest time in trading. If you want to trade, you need to put some time in. Somebody just asked for a link to the EA. I'll put it in the group. So this is the MT5 version. And this is the MT4 version. No, hang on. That's not the MT4 version. There is an MT4 version. God, I can't find my own stuff. This is the MT4 version. Hello from Dubai. Hello, Glitchy Itch. Very nice, Dubai. I was watching a documentary on Dubai last night before. Amazing. They built that new, they got that, what's it called, the Palm, the artificial island and all those houses. I didn't realise they've got another Palm, which is even bigger, but there's nothing on it. How much money has been pumped into all of that and nobody's done anything with it yet? Crazy. But I was more interested in the ladies who have the car club. So there's a supercar club for ladies. All their cars that they're driving around, pretty impressive. Yeah, I love Dubai. Watch a lot of Supercar Blondie videos. If you're not familiar with you probably are familiar with Supercar Blondie. Everyone knows Supercar Blondie. But yeah, she obviously is in Dubai. Very nice, very hot. Anyway, so that's all I've got for you today. We've got some lovely movement going on the NAS and the S&P. Just before I disappear, big moves this morning. Hopefully, obviously, reversal alerts you've had on M15 and retest. Beautiful. To our textbook W. Look, I put this in the Telegram group this morning. I did that this morning, saying we've got W forming. If you're not in the Telegram group, come in the Telegram group. Little nuggets like that will get dropped in there. So yeah, very nice movement on the NAS. So from a 3-bar reversal perspective on 4 hour, we've just taken out these lows. And it looks like today could well be our day for the bullish move. Half of there, that's what I'm looking for. Half candle move on that big down day. So New York this afternoon, if we can hold this move in London, pull back, push, pull back, push. If we can get anywhere near ADR today and New York can continue this, it's going to be payday. Payday today. Need it after taking $184 pound loss yesterday. It's only 4%. Took a 4.7% loss yesterday. I'm up 22.9% for the month though. So more than happy with that. And I'm going to bank another 5% today. You wait when you come back this afternoon. I'll have another 5% in the bank. I always get punished on NAS and S&P. Are you using stops, Dappy? And are you taking shorts? If you're taking shorts on the NAS and the S&P, you will get punished. If you're using stops, you will get punished. Go and have a look at the Bootcamp video on YouTube. Even better on the DAX, is it? Yeah. All indices flying today. Earnings. This is what happens in earnings, everybody. This is why I don't worry about going into drawdown on the S&P. Obviously, you've got to control it so that it doesn't get out of hand. But, you know, these big companies, when they release these earnings, yeah, you know, these guys are not manufacturing their businesses to make a loss. Yeah, especially next week. Next week's going to be tonto. Tell you, S&P and the NAS next week will be off the charts. New highs next week. I called it here on Wednesday, a week ahead of time. New highs next week. Which dashboard do I have on the right-hand side? This is the RSI dash. So this is monitoring the relative strength index and showing me where the RSI is on each pair. So Aussie dollar CAD, 4 hour. This is 4 hour. So it's just showing me basically where the RSI is, how strong it is, and how extended it is. And I've got another version. It's the same. This is the same dashboard. This is just monitoring the hourly time frames. This is monitoring the 4 hourly time frames. You can also have it set up to monitor all time frames. Multi-time frame version. So this is now monitoring 5 minute, 15, 30, hourly, 4 hourly and daily all on one chart. So this is showing me where RSI is across all these different time frames. So you can use it either to monitor multiple time frames, or as I use it, I'll use it to monitor strength. So the bigger this bar is, the stronger the move. The stronger the move, the bigger the spring. The pullback, profit take, whatever you want to call it, the bigger the counter move will be. Thanks a lot, Lee, for everything you do. Pray more strength, energy, great health, and most plenty wins. Me too. Oh, by the way, just update on COVID. No, I said yesterday, my son tested positive for COVID yesterday morning. He's fine. He's just got like bad cold. So we tested my other son when he got home from school. Guess what? Positive. So I've got a double COVID in the house. So if I'm not online for any reason, you know why. But yeah, so we've locked them in their bedrooms and are shoving food under the floor. Yeah, not nice. But anyway, they're both okay. It's just, 5 days of lockdown for them. So you see the 4 hours of it's 10 o'clock. So the RSI dashboard is just updated with the new levels there. So it'll update every however many hours, depending on what time frames you put that on. So Aussie dollar CAD, obviously, RSI has pushed up because we've had a little bit of an up move. It's still pushing down at the moment, but if you look at it on the hourly, we are literally just in a reversal alert retest at the moment, and we've just done a liquidity run of yesterday's low. So good area. If we can get some bullish price action there today, this could be the start of the move on that, which would be nice. Did I get vaccinated? Yes, I've been double jabbed and boosted as well. I've had 3, so I should be all right. But it's only, this is very, they've got a cold basically. So one of my eldest has been double jabbed as well. So, but anyway, it's just hard, isn't it? Having it in the house, it's like a ticking time bomb. We're sitting around at the moment going, ugh, testing every day, just waiting. I'm not really. I'm sort of sitting here waiting for the positive test, expecting it. It's not a case of am I going to get COVID. It's a case of which day this week am I going to test positive for it, because we live in a house together. We're touching everything together. We use the same electric toothbrush, and he's been sitting there maybe for a couple of days when we've not known about it and gone on life as normal. So I'll be very surprised if I don't get it, but you never know. We'll see. But we'll be fine. Right, so that's all we got for today. So monitor positions, S&P and NAS. I'm going to keep an eye on these. You can see obviously my averages on these. I'm going to hold NAS as hard as I can. I'm not going to look at it this morning. I'm going to give it a couple of hours off. And that's the best way to hold your positions. If you can't see your positions, you cannot get scared out of your positions. Big tip. Yeah. If you're one of those people who takes profit too early because they see 2 down candles, yeah, shut your chart. If you can't see it, you won't get out. Let it go where you think it's going to. I think it's coming up to here before it's going to get a reaction. So I'm not going to touch it. So don't look at it. It's hard, but try not to. I got 4 times vaccinated. 2 Sinopharms and 2 Pfizers. Wow. Blimey. We're not allowed to have 4. I'm sure you can buy it on the black market. I could probably get it if I wanted to. Joke. 4. Yeah, you should be all right then. I got in late on Aussie dollar CAD last night due to work. I'm glad using the strategy correctly. Good. Yeah. So just scale in Aussie CAD. If it comes down, it comes down. Yeah. As always, if it's going to come down, look where it's going to come down to. Yeah. Look for a double bottom. Scale in again. If it breaks that level, go out onto higher time frame. Where are we going next? Big drop, big gap. This is a crucial point on this one actually, because there's a big gap until the next reaction point, which is something like 3 ADR. So this is why it's good to scale in roughly an ADR apart. You don't want to get into too many positions, but it's unlikely, very unlikely, that would have a push of 3 ADR in one direction without a profit take. And again, as soon as you get the profit take, that's your exit. 1 ADR push back in the other way. Yeah, look at daily candles. Strong move down, profit take. Strong move down, a little bit of a profit take. Continuation down, big profit take on the entire move. Next leg, move down, profit take. Move down, profit take. Move down, profit take. Move down, profit take. Move down, big profit take on the entire move. Move down, profit take. Move down, profit take. This is where we get out. Profit take. Yeah. That's our exits. Mean reversion. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Otherwise, I'll be on all morning. Back at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Keep an eye on your positions, obviously, and add to anything you need to add to if we get any strong moves this morning rather. Keep a close eye on the NAS and the S&P. If you want to take profits, take profits. If you need to do drawdown control, do drawdown control. Up to you how you want to get in and out of your positions. We'll be back at 2 o'clock this afternoon. News-wise this afternoon, we've got 1:30 CAD. So I'm back on at 2. Canadian dollar CPI will be out before that. So keep an eye on your CAD positions. If you're in pound CAD, watch that one. Quite often the market will have a reaction across the board to other currencies will move off the back of other currencies news because they'll be waiting to see what happens with the CAD if they've got positions they need to put in against the CAD. And just after I come on, we've got Bailey speaking, so we'll have a look at that as well at 2:15. But yeah, back at 2 o'clock this afternoon, ready for the New York session. But hopefully we get some very decent moves this morning on NAS and S&P. We did have yesterday, so why not today as well? So yeah, keep an eye on everything. Hopefully have a profitable morning. And if you need anything, come into the Telegram group. If you liked the stream, give it a thumbs up. and I will see you this afternoon, hopefully at 2 p.m.